Hi guys, James at Bespoke here and welcome back to another video review. In this one we're looking at a 4.3 model from Armourer Works. Yes, I'm carrying on, messing with the format, seeing and just polishing things. Obviously the content's there, the guns are here for us to look at, but you know, the way that things are working, just bear with me, I'm just making some little slight changes here and there. But in this video, we're looking at the 4.3 Hi-Capa from Armourer Works, which is the HX2601. We're going to get straight into the top-down camera, see what's in the box, what's included, and a closer look at this thing, and then we'll get to the chrono and the actual results, and then we'll be back on camera for the wrap-up. So here we have the box for the HX2601. Now this is more commonly referred to as a 4.3 Hi-Capa compared to the 5.1s that we looked at in the last video. This one has a fitment on the slide for a RMR styled red dot sight, which is also included in the box. Now this is the full black slide, black frame with a gold barrel, and you'll see it's got other gold pieces as well as the red. Pretty similar to the full slided HX2602 that we looked at in the last video. If you want to find this on the website, the code is 110739. However, if you are going to the website, there are big banners and stuff now on the front page which labels up Hi-Capa. If you click on that, we're obviously looking at a lot of Hi-Capas this week. You'll see all the Hi-Capa models as well as the magazines and stuff that we have in stock. So opening the box here, we've got the usual Armourer Works manual. And then we've got all these bits and pieces here which are all packaged up in plastic. The pistol itself has the magazine fitted out of the box, so we can pull that off. And there you'll see the magazine, it comes with a nice silver finish magazine. The pistol itself, which we'll get to the features in just a moment. You can see the most noticeable difference that we have this flat section on the top here. Also in the box we have an Allen key, we have the red dot sight, and we have a mount. So what you can actually do is, well, I don't know why you would if you were buying this pistol, but if you didn't want to fit this red dot sight to your pistol, or you wanted to have a multiple purpose for this red dot sight, what you can actually do is fit this sight to the mount that's included in the box, like so, and then you can fit that to any 20mm Picatinny rail. Comes with a nice cap on the red dot sight. We'll have a look at that in just a moment. So that's the rail mount that comes with the pistol, and of course you've got an Allen key for fitting the red dot sight as well. So let's put that in. We'll take the red dot sight out. Let's pop this to one side. Let's zoom this in here. So this is the pistol here. Very nice weight and feel to it, just like the other models. Metal frame, metal slide, metal barrel. Everything's pretty much metal apart from obviously the hop rubber, the little plastic wheel on the hop unit to adjust it, and the grip. So normally with materials we look at just the external composition anyway, which, you know, is just the grip here. The grip texture is very similar to the full slided HX2602 that we looked at in the last video. However, this difference is this very funky cutout in the frame, which is very common in the sort of practical style shooting community, having some fancy frames and stuff and grips. We've got a nice cutout on the trigger guard here as well. Serrations on the front here too, so no matter how you want to grip this, if you're gripping it and you've got your left hand or right hand in front of your main hand that you're using to grip the pistol itself, you know, you've got this groove where your sort of middle finger can sit, which is very nice. Of course, the safety which is found on both sides, I have to cut the pistol to do this. It's ambidextrous. Obviously the magazine release is only found on the left hand side, slide release is only found on the left hand side. Got a grip safety just like any other Hi-Capa /1911. Nice hammer design there, which is silver. Gold thumb rest and safety, gold grip safety, gold magwell, which is very nice. Now what I would like to have seen on these pistols from Armour Works is keeping up with the theme. So you know, they've got the black, they've got the red, they've got the gold. I think the silver is just too much contrast with these pistols. I mean, it's down to personal taste at the end of the day. I mean, it does match the magazine. The magazine is nice being a different colour, obviously, because you can see it through the grip there. What I would like is if they had managed to get the gold effect on the magazines. That would be pretty cool. So silver trigger and silver hammer. It'd be nice if these were gold to match as well. The trigger is kind of in between the HX2602 and the HX2602 that we looked at in the last video. The style is like the 2002, where it's very bulky and flat, and it's got these sort of cutouts, and it sort of mimics the sort of triggers where you can like swap the front sections out. I think this is just an etch on the surface though. This doesn't like sort of slide out of the trigger at all. But then you've got the nice curved aspect to it, like the 1002, which is very, very nice. So it's a nice trigger that's in between the two. It's very comfy, and reset and brake is very nice as well. Slide is extremely smooth. You know, you got sort of blacked out iron sights to the rear, fibre optic up the front there. Now, if you're buying this pistol, I don't know why you'd want to use it without the red dot. Let me just get the mounting hardware, because then we can take a look at the dot sight itself. And a dot sight does require a 2032 button cell battery. It's not included in the box, unlike the Sekita platforms that we looked at. Now what I will say about the Sekita platforms that I liked over this one is the fact that with the Sekita pistols, they're about the same price. They come with a CO2 mag in the box. They're more like a conventional 1911, but they do come with a metal RMR, where this one is plastic. So they've obviously done a bit of cost saving there. I believe this is the button or the toggle to turn it on and off just by pulling and pushing it, like so. But let's get this fitted. Obviously we just hover it on the slide there. We're just going to pop the two screws in. You don't want to go mad with tightening these screws. It is plastic overall. Just put those in there. When fitting these red dot sights, I mean, very rarely will I use the Allen key in this orientation and really torque them down. I'll generally just use them like that because you can get less torque on the screws, but it's more than enough to secure it to the pistol. And then we've got a red dot sight, which is, let's face it, that's how you're going to use it. I don't actually have any 2032 batteries on me at the moment, or in the local vicinity, so I can't shove a battery in here. But I have seen these with batteries in, and it's just a normal like red dot. So you don't have any adjustability like the ones that come with the Sekita, so like turning it up and down on the sides. It is literally just on and off, which we just pull the tab like so. Of course, you can fit the protective cap on there as well while it's on the pistol to secure it during transport. It is much easier to pull the red dot sight out of the protective cover when it's fitted to something. When it comes in the box, just in the cover, it is a bit of a pain to get out. So we've got silver guide rod and barrel here as well. So it would have been nice. Pretty sure it said on the box it said a gold barrel. Yeah, it said a gold barrel. So it's got on there gold barrel, but it comes with a silver barrel. So I don't know who's at fault there, the supplier or Armour Works themselves. So what I like about RMRs, and I run an FNX myself. I don't think I've got it to hand, but I generally use the RMR on my own pistol without a battery in, because normally when I'm engaging people at those distances, I don't tend to look down the iron sight. However, if you want to enter into like a practical pistol scenario, this is going to be perfect. The red dot sight is adjustable, but predominantly in a skirmish, when I use mine, I just use it to rack the slide easier because I can get a better purchase on the red dot sight. Now the red dot sight on that FNX is metal, so I don't know how that would fare with this one, but so far I don't think we've heard any reports. But you know, the slide is flared at the top, so it sits flush with the red dot, which is nice. You can get a nice purchase on the back of the slide as well as the front of the slide with serrations as well. So it's nice and comfy. Now we have got a clear gun. This is empty. We've got gas in the magazine. Nice and snappy there, a little bit more snappy compared to the full slided 5.1, but not quite as snappy as a split slide, obviously, because you've got this extra weight. That being plastic obviously doesn't add too much weight to the back, which is nice. However, they have added weight to the slide with the flared section here when they've machined it, so very nice indeed. Now to adjust the hop up on this pistol, we just pop the pin out like a normal Hi-Capa, the slide just falls to the front. And I have been messing around with these Armorworks Hi-Capas, and I've been fitting the slides on different ones, and they're all kind of interchangeable. I even managed to get the Compact 1911 slide on this, and I managed to get this slide on the Compact 1911, and I was really just seeing how far extreme it'll go to, and both of them function, both of them lock back on empty, so it was a very surprising feature there that all the slides are compatible, and they seem to work. So that's the slide off. You know, you've got your hop there, just a normal wheel. When this was pulled and fired in the accuracy test, which you'll see later, the hop was actually halfway on. So I've actually switched it up in this episode. I've done two different BB weights. So the first ones are 0.2s, and with that hop sort of set halfway out the box, I was having to aim about, say about a metre lower than the target because the rounds were so much overhopping. And then all I did was put some 0.3s in. I didn't mess with the hop setting whatsoever, and they were flying a lot straighter. So very nice in terms of quality and how these are made. I know some people have been sort of saying that they haven't got on with the Armorworks Hi-Capa range, and I'm yet to see any faults. I mean, I know with the amount of these that we sell, you're obviously going to have some issues. I know I've seen a few of the nozzles crack over time when using CO2, but you know, if it's in warranty, of course, we'll look after you, so don't worry. These parts can also be found pretty cheap as well if need be. As far as in terms of running it on gas, I've never known an issue with these pistols whatsoever. It's a very nice pistol that Armorworks have released. Now, I'm surprised they didn't do a 5.1 version as well in this slide setup where you can get the RMR. But, you know, it's still nice. Superbly well weighted in the hand. It is, you definitely know you're carrying it, and it oozes quality just because of the weight that you've got here. There's a tiny bit of rattle, but you're going to get that. I think that's coming mostly from like the spring on the guide rod. I've seen far worse. But the function's nice and smooth there. Let's get to the chrono results and see what this thing shoots at. So see, they're not a bad FPS, 0.2 gram BBs, green gas. We're going to go into the accuracy test now. So just before we get into that, they're all done at 15 meters. I'm trying something new with trying heavy ammo. This is no way hop set to the optimum performance whatsoever. So this isn't the best the pistol can do. This is pulling the pistol out the box, firing it on 0.2 gram BBs and firing it on 0.3 gram BBs. And we'll get the results up for you just now. So you'll see there, I've actually kept the targets. You know, 0.2s and 0.3s. Now what this won't represent is the fact that, you know, these look very similar. The 3s don't look much better on the cardboard. However, what you don't see is the amount of times I actually missed the target with the 0.2s because they were flying here, there and everywhere. They were massively overhopping. I was having to aim, when you see on camera where the target is, I was having to aim about 1 meter below. So the rounds were literally just skimming the floor and then coming up and hitting the target, and that's the only way that I could get it to hit the target on the hop setting that it was. Now if you pulled this pistol out the box and you set the hop back to 0 and then 5.2 gram BBs, you would have much better results at 15 meters. No doubt about that whatsoever. But you know what, you guys know that I like to just pull these out and shoot them as they are. What I found with a lot of the ArmorWorks pistols is that out the box the hops are set. So what that might mean is that when they're shipping them at the factory to the distributors, what you might find is that they'll play with the hop, make sure it's working before they send it out, and that's a great bit of, you know, reassurance that they're doing that at a factory or manufacturing level. So this spread, I mean, how far can I zoom out? I can't go any more. The spread on this, you know, let's orientate it that way, was much bigger than the frame, so they really were flying everywhere. With the 0.3s, I managed to land pretty much all but maybe 1 or 2 on the target, and that was literally just down to myself. I was trying to find out where they were dropping because literally there's no set up to running these tests. There's no camera trickery, which a lot of YouTubers seem to do. I'm trying to be as honest as I can with you guys. So the 0.3s, fired at the target, I put the iron sights right here, I figure out where it's aiming. Sometimes when I'm firing like pistols and I know they're going to drop, so with the 0.3s I knew this was going to drop, I actually aimed a little bit higher to see where it was going to go, and then I just try and gauge where it is. I haven't messed with the hop. Now if when using 0.3 gram BBs I'd played with the hop and set it beforehand so I could really dial it into where they're landing, I have no doubt in my mind that this grouping could become this grouping. Not a problem at all. I wasn't running the red dot sight, I was just running just the iron sights. And again, when I'm firing these pistols, I'm not firing them. You see some YouTubers and what they'll do is they'll get the rifle or the pistol and they'll fix it onto a bench with a vise. That's not, to me, proving what the pistol can do, because you're never going to fire the gun in that orientation. You're not going to go out on a field, break your vise out, clamp the gun down, then start firing it at somebody. So literally, I can't stress this enough, the BBs go in the mag, the magazine goes in the gun, and I literally just draw up the pistol and just fire. I try to gauge where the rounds are dropping because, again, I don't set the hop up on these pistols. So the 0.3s are very, very good. It was like, I'd probably like a 60% reduction in the spread with the hop set as it was, because if you did turn the hop off with the 0.2s, they would have come down. So not bad results whatsoever. Like I say, you can get much better. Being an end user and picking this pistol up, you're going to have time on the field on a game day or beforehand in the garden just to put the BBs in that you're going to use, fine tune the hop unit, get it set where you want, let the hop unit settle after you've fired a good few rounds through it. Because when the hop was set out the box and I put 0.2s in, the first couple of rounds were okay, and then the hop sort of, like, I don't know whether you can't really say, I don't like the term bedding, but the hop kind of settled, and then, you know, it was applying, whether there was a bit of lube or something on the hop rubber, I really don't know. But after a few rounds, the hop really did start to take effect and fly these skyward. So I'm superbly impressed with the performances out the box for the price, you know, for what you're getting as well. A full metal Hi-Capa that can use gas and CO2 with all these, you know, with a TM you're going to have to buy, unless you're buying like the gold match or something, you're having to buy all these gold bits and pieces like separately, as well as you're still getting a plastic gun. And I'm a big advocate for TM. I know how good they are, I know they're plastic, and I know they shoot well, but a lot of users out there want something a little bit more realistic and a little bit more weighty, so ArmorWorks really have got you covered. So let's get back on camera and we'll see you in just a moment. Just see there, another superb example from ArmorWorks. This being the 4.3 model, has the red dot sight included, which is a nice feature. Very snappy, uses the same magazines, can use gas and CO2, it's full metal, the grip's nice, the styling's nice. They do a good job on their Hi-Capas. So nice respectable FPS there, not too high, not too low. About average for a 4.3 Hi-Capa. I can imagine the results on CO2 may be a little bit higher, but the results on the accuracy test as well. Obviously, I've already spoke about this on the top-down camera, the 2s and the 3s. Obviously, with the 2s, you know, you were sort of getting a spread sort of like that because the hop was set to max, well not max, halfway, but the 2s were flying up through the roof. 3s was much better, obviously, with dialing the hop up in, which I don't do on these videos because I like to do them as they are out of the box, as you're going to experience, because you're not going to pull this gun out of the box and have it hyper-tuned, ready to go, hit people at 60 meters with a .3. You know, it is down to the user to sort of adjust the hop and put different weight BBs and then sort of really dial it into your own shooting experience. So that's what I like to try and put across, the things that you're going to be experiencing with this thing out of the box. I hope you've liked this review of the 4.3 ArmorWorks Hi-Capa, this model having the red dot sight included, like I say, out of the box. Would be nice if this was metal rather than plastic, like Seki to do, but still it's a nice thing to have out of the box than nothing at all. We have all these funky ArmorWorks models on the website. They're supremely easy to find now. Go straight onto the Bespoke Airsoft homepage. You've got a big banner at the top which says Hi-Capas, and then we've got a smaller box banner down below which you can click, which basically just goes through and shows most Hi-Capa products that we have in stock. So we've got the guns, we've got the magazines in CO2 and gas, we've got different models, 5.1s, 7.1s, 4.3s, you name it, we've got it. And I'll also put a link in the description down below where you can find all this funky stuff as well. Thanks for tuning to this review. Hope you've enjoyed the results that we've had out of this pistol on camera. If you're buying this over the web with us, you're not going to be disappointed whatsoever. You're actually absolutely going to love this pistol. So thumbs up from me. We'll see you in the next video. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and YouTube, all that good stuff. Subscribe, bell notification, you know how it is. And we'll see you in the next review. Thank you.